Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UB Coatings webinar. My name is Vanessa Bauersachs. I'm an editor at UB Coatings and have the pleasure to welcome you to today's event. First of all, we want to say a great thanks to Evonik for making today's event possible. And we are very pleased to welcome today Dr. Zuhal Tuncay of Evonik, who will give a presentation about the company's novel epoxy coating technology. And we're very happy that this event has generated such an interest. So far, we have almost 750 registrations. And you will, of course, receive the opportunity to ask your individual questions. And you're very welcome to do so at any point during the presentation. I will collect your comments and questions. And once our speaker has finished her presentation, we'll discuss them with her. And plus, if you want to contact our speaker later on, you will, of course, also find her contact details. And now it's already my pleasure to introduce today's speaker to you. Dr. Zuhal Tuncay has studied polymer chemistry at the Technical University of Dortmund before doing her PhD at the University of Paderborn in Germany. She has joined Evonik in 2016 and has been a technical manager for applied technology for coatings since 2019. Hello, Zuhal, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hope
That's
you
great.
also.
Yes, perfectly. Thank you very much for being here today. I hope you're well.
I'm doing well, thanks. You too?
Yeah, thank you. I'd say that we dive directly in our topic, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. And first, thank you very much for a nice introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this exciting webinar. Today, I would like to introduce you our two new products called Ancamide 2832 and Ancamide 2864. These are modified high solid polyamide curing agents, which is faster than any existing polyamides. So those are able to get you back in service in under an hour, and how I will show you during the presentation. So within the scope of this presentation, we will review market trends and drivers in coating industry. Then we will discuss the new two products which are developed for two different approaches. One we recommend for factory applications, where we have control on temperatures, and the other one can be used in field applications under adverse conditions. The key features, such as performance attributes, will be also discussed in this session. And at the end of the presentation, I will highlight how those products complement our entire range of curing agents that we offer, and why they are a very good fit for our polyamide product family. Okay, in today's world, fundamentals requirements within the coating industry can be divided into three major drivers. Coating suppliers are being asked to provide technology which enable the customers enhance the productivity, deliver good long-term performance, and balance these attributes with the needs of environment. Regarding to needs of environment, the coating industry asks for products with low or zero emission and with improved HNS profile, whereas avoid using harmful raw materials. If we move to performance requirements and translate this for epoxy coating, as you know, epoxy coating is used as primer and intermediate coat for metal and determine the main properties of the coating. The main role of primer is to inhibit the corrosion while providing good adhesion to metal, as well as to intermediate coat. Intermediate coat is mostly responsible for chemical resistance and barrier properties. Additionally, it should have good adhesion between primer and top coat and deliver good compatibility to top coat. To protect the metal longer term, it is required to provide products with enhanced mechanical properties, improve adhesion, also to pull the prepaid surfaces, and improve chemical and corrosion resistance. Last but not least, for the enhanced productivity has been asked to have curing agent which can significantly lower the cure time and exhibits low robustness against adverse conditions while curing. That would reduce downtime and create a wider application window. So our role as curing agent supplier was to provide our customers with the best technology solution to meet these emerging needs. With that motivation, we developed a new platform for high-solid polyamide curing agents, which are eco-friendly. Those products inhibit low or zero emission. They provide excellent long-term performance with improved corrosion and chemical resistance. And because these new products 3 times faster than the conventional polyamides, they provide faster return to service even at adverse curing conditions. Okay, in the next several slides, I am going to present some key features such as performance attributes of Ancamide 2832. Ancamide 2832 we recommend to use for factory applications where we have control on temperature. Here you see some features at glance. 2832 is high in solid and exhibit low emission. It can be used as primer or intermediate coat. It provides high corrosion and chemical protection, and it shows very fast property development. After 15 minutes at ambient temperature, the system is dry to touch and ready to receive the top coat. That rapid overcoatability makes 2832 ideal product for wet-on-wet application. As you know, wet-on-wet application is the method where the additional coats are applied before the previous coats have cured. After the rapid recoat, we achieve with 2832 very good surface appearance without any defects. In figure 1, on the left side, we used a competitive fast cure primer, which was also touched to dry after 15 minutes. At that point, top coat is applied. Then you see the result for competitive curing agent on the left side with a very poor surface appearance. Compared to this, on the right side is 2832, used as primer and top coated after 15 minutes. Here we could achieve very good aesthetic for the surface without any defects. Ancamide 2832 allowing viscosity typically in a range 500 to 2000 millipascal second. And it has a preferred loading of 82 pHr for liquid epoxy resin, where is the standard high solid polyamides is a little higher in the range of 90 to 130 pHr. As expected, 2832 has a shorter gel time at room temperature in compared to conventional high solid polyamides. In this case, 30 minutes, which is clearly manageable. If we compare the thin film set time at 25 degrees, we see significant difference in dry time. 2832 reached the third phase after 1 hour 45 minutes, and competitive system first after 7 hours 30 minutes. Ancamide 2832 improved the properties in a very early stage. With Shorty hardness test, we could confirm this. After 1 day curing at room temperature, we achieved 68 units for Shorty hardness, where the competitive system achieved this level after 7 days. Another significant difference to competitive system here, the dry to touch time, which is determined for 2832, 15 minutes, and for competitive 205 minutes. One of the methods to determine the dry to touch time is cotton ball test. Maybe some of you know that method already. In this simple method, used usually in refinish applications, as soon as primer sprayed to the surface, from the beginning on, every 2 minutes, the cotton ball is rubbed on the coating surface. If the cotton ball doesn't stick on the coating or doesn't leave any residue, at that point, the primer is dry and can receive the top coat. And that was the case for 2832 after 15 minutes, and for competitive system after 205 minutes. So 2832 allows rapid overcoatability with excellent adhesion. To demonstrate these attributes, we conducted crosshatch adhesion test. In this table, we have 3 different test protocols. The first is epoxy primer applied on steel and allowed to cure for 24 hours. And both wet and dry crosshatch adhesion are measured. In this case, 2832 and also the competitive system, which was high solid polyamide, provide excellent adhesion. In the second set, polycarbonate top coat is applied after epoxy primer has cured for 15 minutes. And the third set, where the epoxy primer has been cured for 16 minutes before the top coat applied. As you see, crosshatch adhesion for 2832 results in 5A, which is the highest rating. By comparison with competitive system, a significant level of delamination is observed here, resulting crosshatch adhesion in a range of 1A to 2A. In figure 4 and 5, you see on the pictures our observations. Okay, here we took the process by running crosshatch tests for 2832 under the loop. After primer 2832 spray applied and cured for 15 minutes, the top coat based on polycarbonate was applied, which was likewise dry to touch also after 15 minutes. In this case, we were able to complete the entire application in 40 minutes. At the end, if we run the test after 24 hours, as you see, we receive very good adhesion. And if we run the same test under the same conditions, but this time we allow the primer to cure for 24 hours. Even here, we receive very good adhesion. This test shows the robustness of overcoatability, which means it's not necessary to apply the top coat directly after 15 minutes to achieve the good adhesion. Here we demonstrate the corrosion resistance behavior of 2832 compared with high solid polyamide by containing anti-corrosive pigment at 1000 hours. The details to formulation you can find in our TDS, where it's listed with what kind of pigment we use and which solvent and at which level. As you can see on the table, the results for 2832 are in line with competitive system, where we achieved highest rating for scrap creep, filter blistering, and blister size. So So far, we discussed the product 2832. Now we are going to focus on Ancamide 2864. 2864 is designed for field application, where the environment conditions cannot be controlled. With 2864, very good surface appearance at low temperature and at high humidity can be achieved. At the same time, 2864 provides faster dry time and improved blush resistance, both at ambient and at low temperature. It has a very high level of corrosion protection and resistance to cathodic despondent. Additionally, regarding to environment aspect, 2864 is solvent-free. And that product is developed for marine and protective coating applications. Um, 2864 has a minimum viscosity in a range 1,200 to 2,200 millipascal second. It is 100% solid, and preferred loading is 60 to 65 pHr for liquid epoxy resin. Okay, here we focus on performance properties of 2864 on a comparison with high solid polyamide. As you can see, the initial viscosity of 2864 is lower. So it's made allow coating formulations with lower VOC for spray applications. For epoxy clear coat, mix and applied at 25 degrees, we experience shorting in gel time, which is to be expected again. The surface appearance at that temperature is excellent. Impact resistance and water spot resistance are in line with competitive system. Here, where we see real benefit with 2864 is at lower application temperatures. At 5 degrees, comparing to competitive curing agent, we see significant improvement in appearance, where 2864 exhibit high gloss and blush-free surface. Yeah, the water spot resistance is comparable. And when we examine the film for coating integrity using MAK double rub test, there is a significant difference in performance. After 1 day cure, when we apply MAK swab on the coating, the film remains intact. But after 200 rubs, we lost gloss. After 3 day curing at 5 degrees, the coating provides more than 200 double rubs. And there is no loss on gloss and no damage on surface to observe. The competitive system, after 1 day, the coating was completely destroyed as soon as a MAK swab replaced on the coating. And this highlighted the poor film integrity of competitive system, which may dry to touch after 1 day, but there's no sufficient cross-linking as the coating provides no chemical resistance. And after 3 days, there is some improvement, but even then, the MAK double rub is still less than 100 units. Okay, so here we go. Here we can see the difference in low temperature cure profiles. When we run thin film set time using BK recorder for clear coats, we see a significant difference as the application temperature is low. At 5 degrees, 2864 reached the third phase after 14 hours. Where the competitive curing agents needs almost 48 hours. And after 48 hours, the film was still sticky to touch. Moving to the figure 13. The degree of cure is obtained here using DSC, cured at 5 degrees. What we see here, 2864 on day 1 achieved almost 70% curing degree. And after 7 days, 97%. And the competitive curing agent reached on day 1, 33% curing. And this is after 7 days, 88%. These results demonstrate clearly the rapid development of the network for 2864 at early stages of curing for low temperature curing. And in this case, it closed the performance gaps for the low temperature curing for polyamide systems. Okay. Like you see in figure 14, 2864 delivers very good surface appearance at ambient and at low temperature and at high humidity due to its fast cure, excellent compatibility with liquid epoxy resin, and its low amine migration. Compared to this, many curing agents deliver poor surface appearance at low temperature, which was the case in figure 15. Here, we tested the corrosion protection behavior in a model anti-corrosive formulation, which you can find with details again in our TDS. Then we ran the salt spray test for 2000 hours. After 2000 hours, we didn't observe any damage or blisters on the panels. In this case, the corrosion resistance performance is comparable with the competitive curing agents, and those achieve the highest rating. Okay. In addition, while assess the cathodic despondent, we also see that 2864 provide excellent performance. In this example, we applied films with 600 mils and stressed this in a cathodic cell with 1.5 volt potential for 28 days at 23 degrees. Here we observed minimum creep and no blister. Based on these results, we can say that 2864 meets the ESTM G8 standards for pipe and marine coatings. Okay, now I am going to talk about our product positioning. We have a number of polyamides in our product portfolio, and you see some highlighted products here. Beyond the conventional polyamides like 3030, 221, 261, we have many differentiated products. In the middle, you see 2050. It's a modified polyamide, which gives us very good balance between cure speed and performance. 2769 is a 100% true solid polyamide without any additional plasticizer and exhibits very low viscosity. This allows for formulation of solvent-free or high solid. 910 has a very high flexibility and excellent thermal shock resistance, which makes it an ideal product for electronic potting and encapsulations. 2353 has excellent solvent resistance, where 2634 provides significantly higher corrosion protection, allowing the formulators to reduce expensive anti-corrosive pigments. Okay, we move to 2652. It provides longer overcoatability. This means that the coating can be overcoated without the issue of poor intercoat adhesion for up to 3 months after initial coating has been applied. And now we added 2 new products to our polyamide product family, where we can offer additional benefits to our customers. With 2832, we can close the gap for rapid recoat, especially for wet-on-wet applications. And with 2864, the blush-free fast-through cure at low temperatures for polyamides. Okay, before I come to the end of my presentation, I would like to say thank you to all my colleagues who supported this work, especially to my co-authors, Mike Cook, Sudhir Anantacha, and Steve Monaghan. And sure, thank you to all for listening. And I think we can open the question sessions now.
Yeah, thank you very much for your interesting presentation. And there are already plenty of questions which I would like to discuss with you. The first one being, can I use something else other than polycarbamide as a top coat?
Yes, we can use, for example, polyaspartics or acrylics or polyurethane beyond polycarbamide. With all those, we will have very good adhesion or very good overcoatability.
Okay, thank you. Staying on the topic of top coats, when can I apply the top coat in case I would like to cure at lower temperatures?
For low temperature curing, we recommend the product 2864. And in this case, it will be dry after 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it depends on what kind of top coat you would like to use. And I would say the time for return to service is up to the top coat. But I guess that will be something between 24 hours or 48 hours.
Okay, thank you. Next question would be, can I buy these products globally?
Yes, these products, they're available globally, and they're also registered in REACH, in Tosca, so they are available.
Okay. Another viewer would like to know what are the hazard labels of the products?
That are typical polyamide curing agents. So because they don't have any harmful materials inside, they don't have any additional bad labeling. But if you are interested, we can send you to the MSDS. So yeah, maybe in that case you will find our speaker's contact details. So maybe you just contact her directly and she can send you. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, perfect. The next question is from a supplier for the food industry. And they ask, is there an approval for food contact? For example, the FDA 175.300 or the EU 10-2011 available for Ancamide 2833?
No, we didn't test that. There's no approval for this. But if there's a request for this application, you can send me an email.
Okay, perfect. And the next question is going back to slide number 5. What is the second coat's chemistry? Is it the first layer clear coat or pigmented?
I'm going back to the slide 5, you said.
Yes, 5.
Okay. And the question was, what was this competitive system?
What is the second coat's chemistry? Is it the first layer clear coat or is it pigmented?
Okay. It was, we use as top coat polyurethane here.
Yes. What is the second coat's chemistry, it said?
And the competitive systems were polyaspartics. Sorry. It was a phenylcamine based curing agent.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, is the resin that was tested with solvent-free epoxy resin, is it standard or high solid?
It was standard.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, the fast properties buildup will not make the epoxy brittleness by long time?
That depends on what is the maximum degree of curing.
Okay, I think we have some slight sound issues. I'll try again.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Oh, perfect. I hear you now.
Okay.
Maybe we can go back to the last question. And it's about the fast properties buildup and if it will not make the epoxy brittleness by long time.
No. Because we run also bending tests after full curing, and we didn't see that the films are brittle.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next question. Is it possible for Ancamide 2864 to be used in marine applications due to its high corrosion resistance?
2864 is recommended to use for marine applications, yes.
Okay, perfect. Nezo, you would like to know, why is the viscosity range of Ancamide 2833 so broad, from 500 to 2000, it says?
Yeah, it's a range. I think it depends on the process and how the polymers designed. So I think that's a process aspect, and we give there just to be sure that we communicate the right viscosity to our customers. We give here a range.
Okay, thank you. Next question would be if you have any results in pull-off adhesion rather than crosshatch.
At the moment, we don't have that test, but it's a good idea to run this. But at the moment, we don't have that data. But it's a good point.
Okay. The next question would be, can 2864 be used in automotive refinish primer applications as well?
Sorry, I lost your voice. Can you ask it back again? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Can 2864 be used in automotive refinish primer applications?
Yes, you can also use it there, but actually what we recommend to use is definitely 2832 because of the rapid overcoatability. And 2864 we recommend for field applications at lower temperatures. So in this case, if the customer wants to use a product for refinish applications, then I would recommend to use 2832.
Okay, thank you. Next question would be, are those products suitable for shipping container coatings?
Okay, I think the clear answer to that question, I'm not sure. I can take that question with me and then come back again if I can get the contact to the person who asked that question.
Okay, maybe would be another case of contacting our speaker directly, and then you could discuss it.
Yeah.
Another question would be, which product from which supplier is a competitive curing agent that is compared to both Evonik curing agents? I don't know if you're allowed to say so, but...
if you allow me not to tell this, I would appreciate it.
I understand, yes. The next question would be, is there a big exothermic heat building up during curing?
It is not untypical for epoxy amine reaction. It's almost in the same range. Okay,
thank you. Going back to the topic of automotive refinish primers, what is the recommended Ancamide for low VOC, good appearance, and fast cure?
So I didn't get the question.
Yeah, I repeat. Going back to automotive refinish primers, what do you recommend? Which Ancamide for if you want low VOC, good appearance, and fast cure?
In that case, it's definitely 2832, definitely.
Okay. The next question is, in terms of cathodic protection properties, how does Ancamide 2634 compare to Ancamide 2864?
Cathodic disbondment behavior of 2864 is definitely better than 2832. But also 2832 has a very high level for cathodic disbondment.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, which of the Ancamides could be more suitable for impact-resistant and anti-abrasion protective anti-corrosive coatings?
There, I would recommend 2864.
Okay. And the next question would be, can we use Ancamide 2864 for antifouling?
Oh, antifouling. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any experience with antifouling coating. And actually, to the top coat, it will have very good compatibility. But antifouling coating, it depends on what kind of top coat you would use there.
Okay.
Because we know to all top coats, we have very good compatibility. I think there won't be any addition issue with our two products. But how good the end product will be for the antifouling, it depends on antifouling top coat.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, can you say something about the price on 2832 and 2864?
Okay, at that point, I would like to ask our marketing manager to answer that question. I think you can contact us, me, and I can forward it to our marketing manager, this question. I think it will be better addressed there than at my point.
Okay, of course. Another viewer would like to know, is it possible to use them also with solid epoxy resins?
They would be compatible, yes, but then we have to look for the entire viscosity.
Okay. The next question would be, how do you put down your paints in volume? Would a system that lays down viscous paints with no overspray be helpful?
Yeah, like I said, there is a lot of ingredients which comes into the formulation. In our TDS, you can find all the details, how we did our formulations, and what kind of additional solvent we use to reduce the viscosity, because as you know, for spray application, you need very low viscosity. In this case, I think regarding to time, that's a very specific question. But every time you can contact me and we can discuss about this, then we can go through how we did our formulation.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, what would be the pot life of the 2864 at 20 degrees Celsius?
Yeah. As you see, we measured the gel time of 2864 with epoxy liquid resin, and it was 30 minutes. And if you make anti-corrosive formulations, it depends on what additionally come to the formulation and what kind of level of solvents you used. In our case, in our formulation, which we used, the pot life for 2864 was 2 hours. But like I said, the pot life of the formulation, it depends on how we put the formulation together.
Okay, sure. The next question would be about the Ancamide 2832. Is it possible to use it in a mixture of epoxy resins that contains alkyd resins as well?
Yes, yes. It shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, great. The next, we would like to know which Ancamide shows better performance in epoxy entombment coatings.
Can you ask the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Which Ancamide shows better performance in epoxy entombment coatings?
In this case, I will say 2832. 32, yes.
Okay, perfect. The next question would be, are the Ancamide products also suitable to be used with direct food contact applications?
We don't have any approval at the moment for this. We didn't test it, or we didn't check that point at the moment. So at that point, I hesitate to say something to this.
Okay, sure. Another question would be, do you have any humidity or condensation resistance data for either of those polyamides as primer or topcoat systems?
At the moment, no, but it's also a very good point. I think that data would also help us to understand. Yeah.
Okay, great. Another viewer would like to know, is the adhesion of galvanized steel also good enough in case of these two hardeners?
Again, here we didn't measure it for these two products, but general, that kind of polyamides, they have good adhesion. In this case, we didn't specially measure it, but with experience, I will say yes. Okay,
sounds great. Going back again to the topic of pot life, another question would be, is it necessary to have special equipment for the application?
No.
Okay. The next question would be, is it TSCA listed?
In US, yeah, it's listed.
Okay. Then the next question would be, can you say something about the registration status in each region?
Like I mentioned before, those two products, they are registered globally. They're in Tosca, they're in REACH, so they are available and registered.
Okay, perfect. Another viewer would like to know if you could please repeat the figure 15 on page 16, please.
On page 16, right?
Yeah, page 16, figure 15.
15. Okay. Can you see it now, my screen?
Yes, perfectly, yeah.
Okay. Okay. In figure 15, we took a curing agent, a polyamide high solid system, and cured that at 5 degrees and at 60% humidity. And you see the surface is hazy and almost sticky. So as you can see, that curing agent for low temperature cure is not suitable because it's not something which we want to have. We don't want to have surfaces like this. And probably that curing agent, they don't cure at 5 degrees C. And
okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. The next question would be, speaking about powder coatings, if there is a specific product for a powder coatings application and for which field of usage?
Beyond that two products, I'm not sure how really the question was meant, because the two products, they are not for powder coating.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, what is the solvent content of 2832?
It's about 10%.
Okay, thank you. Another viewer would like to know if it is possible to be sent the guide formulations for each. I think this might be another question to contact Zuhal directly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's my pressure, yeah.
Okay, perfect. The next question would be, are there product samples available yet?
In Europe, from the lab, we have limited samples, but we are working on this. I think very soon it won't be limited. So maybe for sampling, it will take 1 or 2 weeks longer to provide, but yes, they are available also here in Europe.
Okay, great. The next viewer would like to know, what are the biorenewable contents in 2832 and 2864?
Yeah, again, one more question for the formulation, pigmented formulation. Like I said, all the data to this you can find in TBS.
Okay, perfect. The next question would be, could you tell us about the maximum recoating interval?
For both of products?
I think so, yeah, because it doesn't state a specific one, yes.
Yes. I mean, in our test for 2832, we showed also after 24 hours, you can apply the top coat. And we didn't measure for the longer time, but with experience, I would say also after applying primer, many times later, you can apply the top coat and you will get also very good adhesion.
Okay. Next question would be, if it is possible to use a silicone top coat.
Our experience until now is definitely with all top coats, we have very good compatibility. And again, for silica, it will be estimated thought, but it will be also, my guess, coatable, suitable.
Okay, perfect. Another viewer would like to know if the 2832 can be used on concrete substrate as a fast cure floor coating primer and top coat.
Yeah, actually, these products, we develop them for metal coating. And if the customers ask for civil engineering products, we have a number of products. So also there you can contact us and list your wishes. I'm sure we can find in our civil engineering portfolio many other products which can make you happy. But those two products, they are made for metal coating.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, is this technology related to phenalkylamines?
No.
Oh, okay, thank you.
They are modified polyamide curing agents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question would be, is there any interaction between top coat and primer for recoatability? Such interactions may be between NCO and primer curing agents. Do I need to consider such interactions?
Yeah, what we know that we don't have any amine migration which react with the top coat. So in this case, I would say if we have an interaction, it's not in a bad way. Sure, for addition, there will be some interaction, but it's not like this that we see any surface defects.
Okay. The next question would be, what are the recommended epoxies to go with the new curing agents?
We have very good experience with liquid epoxy resin, but you can also use salt epoxy resin.
Okay, thank you. Another viewer would like to know what is the thickest you have successfully applied each system?
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yes, sure. What is the thickest you have successfully applied each system?
Like you see on cathodic despondent test, we applied 600 mils, but in 3 layers. So above 600 mils, we didn't test it, but with that thickness, we didn't get any issue.
Okay, perfect. With which corrosion inhibitors used in the system do they reach 10 for scrape creep blister after salt spray test after 1000 hours?
Yeah. Zinc phosphate pigments we used here.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The next question would be, it refers to slide 17. What is the surface steel shot blasted? Is it phosphated?
Can you repeat it again, sorry?
Yeah, sure. About the surface, is it surface steel, is it shot blasted? Is it phosphated?
Yeah, it was phosphated, yes.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, have these products been used with a solid epoxy resin, such as DER 671? 670 71, and how do they compare to the typical polyamide curing agent, such as Ancamide 220?
Until now, we tested our new products with liquid epoxy resin. So we generate all the data with liquid epoxy resin. We don't have any data for solid epoxy resin. But like I mentioned before, we don't expect any drawbacks here, also with solid epoxy resin.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, how looks the process of the coatings yellowing in time?
The two products, they can be used as primer or intermediate coat. And as you know, epoxy systems, they yellow with the time. Some of them slowly, some of them a little bit faster. But there is always a top coat which inhibit the yellowing or help in that direction. And with these two products, we don't have any additional yellowing other than.
Zuhal, can you say something again? I think we lost your sound for a bit there. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe I should make it from the beginning.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Sorry.
It's fine. The two products, we don't develop them for UV resistance, so they don't have any beneficial properties for UV resistance, but they will be comparable to other epoxy systems.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, what is the maximum dry fill thickness recommended? Can higher thickness cause delays on recoating or defects on the final appearance?
Okay, a similar question we got already, I think. Like I said, 600 mils, we didn't have, that was the maximum what we tried or what we tested. And with that thickness, we didn't get any problem. But what will be above 600 microns, so we have to test.
Okay,
but I think that is thick enough for coating.
Okay, perfect. And next question would be, can we use Ancamide 2832 as an accelerator of other hardeners? And how is the compatibility with other hardener types, such as phenalkylamines or cyclo-aliphatics?
Again, here, I will give an estimate thought. I think they would be comparable, but they are already formulated curing agents. To make with them blends, we have to look what's the target. And if you want to accelerate such a systems, maybe we have other accelerators. So instead of making blends with that products, maybe we can accelerate the other curing agents in another way.
Okay, thank you. Going back to the topic of thickness, what is the possible thickness range of these coating systems? And can you guarantee the same level of corrosion resistance with a minimum thickness?
Okay. Again, 600 microns we tested. It was very good. And what will be the minimum thickness? I mean, we have to be sure that the surface of the metal is completely wetted. But if we are talking about giving a guarantee, so if you make sure that the surface is completely coated, then it should protect the surface.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, have you seen any compatibility issues with the Ancamides with common epoxy additives or fillers?
Until now, no. We didn't have any bad experience with fillers. But there's a range of fillers and additives, so we cannot test everything. But I don't have any bad experience to say with that additive it doesn't work. So until now, all the additives and pigments which we use for our formulation, we didn't have any issue.
Okay, thank you. Another viewer would like to know if there are any applications outside of coatings, such as putties or any similar applications available.
Okay, we promote these products for marine and pipe coating, 2864 especially, and 2832 is for refinish application and for non-automotive OEM.
Okay, thank you. Going back to the topic of antifouling, there is one question: if you could share a guideline formulation of an antifouling based on 2864, but I think that's probably another question where the viewer could contact you directly, right?
Yeah, I think that's a very specific question. So we never tested this two type of products for antifouling. So at that point, we don't have any data. But if you can contact me, then we can discuss about this.
Okay, sure. Thank you. The next question would be, what is the representative mean creepage from the scribe according to ASTM D1654 after 1 hour of salt spray test? How about conical bending results?
After 1 hour?
Sorry, 1,000 hours.
Okay. So again, here I think I can take that question with me, and we can discuss it later.
Of course. The next question would be, I think we slightly spoke about the anti-corrosive properties as well, but maybe you can repeat what are the anti-corrosive properties of 2832?
I think it was related to slide 11. So where we did salt spray resistance, or is the question oriented to corrosion test?
It just says generally anti-corrosive properties.
Yeah, for anti-corrosive properties, we run the salt spray resistance, and after 1,000 hours, we got the best rating for that product for 2832, and that was comparable to high solid polyamide primers.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, what is the adhesion on aluminum alloys? Oh,
we never tested that before. for that 2 products at least.
Okay.
Sorry for this. Okay.
No problem. Next question would be, can these products also be used as primers in flooring applications?
Okay. Again, we promote these 2 products for metal coating, and for flooring applications, we have a number of other products. So again, here, if you send us your targets, we can recommend you other products.
Okay, thank you. The next question is about the applications you suggest for 2832.
So I lost your voice in between.
Oh, sorry. If you can repeat the applications you suggest for 2832.
Yeah, it's for refinish applications and for non-OEM, non-automotive OEM.
Okay, perfect. Another viewer would like to know, would it be possible to mix the 2832 with other hardness to have a longer gel time for larger surfaces?
Another hardener, sorry, I lost your sound. I don't know, it's a little bit weird.
Okay.
Repeat it again, sorry.
I repeat. Yeah, no problem. Would it be possible to mix the 2832 with other hardness to have a longer gel time for larger surfaces?
It is possible, yes, but we have to check what will be the other curing agent. And yeah, that's a very specific case, I think, but it's possible, yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, what is the substrate type? Is it galvanized steel or CRS?
It was galvanized steel.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, can you say something about the TG values?
Oh, they were typical for epoxy, polyamide systems, and they are between 50 and 65 degrees at room temperature application.
Okay, thank you. The next question will be, how is the chemical resistance in comparison to Ancamide 2280?
As it should be as good as at the same level.
Okay. Perfect. Sorry. That's the next question would be, Ancamide 2864, was it tested according to the standard ISO 12944?
No.
Okay. The next, we would like to know, they made some trials with DER 331 with Ancamide 27028, and we found lower drying than the phenalkylamine. We need touch drying about 4 hours. Which type of Ancamide would you recommend?
Okay. Again, that question is very customer specific. I think you can contact me directly after that webinar, and I want to make sure that we don't miss any point while recommending you something now. So if you can contact me after that webinar, I would be happy.
Yeah, you'll find her contact details under the media section, and here we also show you some slides with her contact details as well. There.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next question would be, are these, you spoke about the products being oriented to metal surfaces, and the question would be, can it be applied to others such as tile or wood as well?
Again, here it is for metal application, so we recommend it for metal application.
Okay. Another question will be, did you do delamination tests according to EN ISO 4628 Part 8? Is it a scope of corrosion under the coating layer around the scratch in a salt spray test?
I'm also not sure at that point. So again, that question I can take also with me.
Okay, thank you. Another viewer would like to know if which Ancamide do you suggest for internal coatings of galvanized metal tanks for solar gazers? Also quite specific, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's more easier to answer. In that case, I would recommend 2864.
Okay, perfect. The 2822, is it tested with airless equipment at high film thickness? And does it have any disadvantages or weak points we should be careful about?
Again, that question we can also discuss separately. At the moment, I will say there were no issues.
Okay, perfect.
Again, you will see my contact, so we can discuss about this a little bit longer.
Okay, thank you. Could the Ancamide 2832 be used in cutting to accelerate in other systems, as it is such a very fast primer? Do you have any experiences in this regard?
Experience at that moment, no. They are such a new products, so all the data which we generated, we have already shown, and we have a little bit more data, additional data. But at that point, it's again very specific, I think. At that point, we don't have data for this.
Okay, thank you. The next question would be, does the Ancamide 2832 can replace alkamines in terms of touch drying?
I think that question is also very general. Therefore, I have showed already what kind of benefits we can get with that two products. And I would be a little bit careful if I would say we can replace all the phenalkamines with that product. I think I would be very careful at that point.
Okay, thank you. Another question would be, is Ancamide 2864 supplied at 100% solids, or is it diluted in solvents?
It is 100% solid, and it has no solvent.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there have been a lot of questions. I don't know, are you still up for more, or should they contact you directly? Better, it was a bit better.
I think we are also out of our time, but I would be happy to answer your questions. You have already my contact data, and yeah, we can take them with and clear it after that webinar.
Okay, that sounds great.
You also agree on this?
Okay. Yeah, thank you again for your interesting presentation. Is there anything from your side which you would like to add or discuss?
No, thank you very much for listening and for your interest. There was a number of people who joined us today. So thank you for this. And I'm waiting for your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much again for speaking here. And thank you very much again to Evonik for making this event possible. And also sorry for everyone who didn't get their question asked, but we're unfortunately out of time. And as our speaker said, she will be happy if you contact her directly. Once again, you'll find her contact details in the section of this web page, as well as her presentation if you wish to download it. And also, if you wish to have a recording of today's presentation, our speaker will also have the presentation for you as well. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's webinar, and we hope you all stay safe, healthy, and thank you for watching.
Have a nice day. Bye.